We are backstage live, Boston calling indie617. I'm Julie Kramer. We're here with Rolling Blackouts Coastal Fever. Great set today.
Thank you.
Do you want to share my mic, Fran, with me?
Yeah.
Okay. It was a really great set. It was awesome that everybody was singing along to a bunch of the songs.
Yeah, that's always really weird. Yeah, that's really nice.
I was up front. I don't know if you saw me, but I was right up front with amongst everybody. It was very nice. Hot today, incredibly hot. But it was really fun. And when you guys were playing and everyone was singing around me, I just sort of stopped for a minute and sort of enjoyed the moment, which I guess is probably hard for you to do when you're on stage, but you must try to at some point look at everybody singing and go like,
Yeah, sometimes you do, but it's sort of a case of you don't look down thing. So you just get back to what you have to do.
And do you find it, and I've been saying this to some of the bands that have been playing during the day, because a lot of times, like last time you were here, you were at the Paradise. You know, you're doing a nighttime show, it's dark, this and that. How is it being on stage at 2 o'clock in the afternoon?
I think, yeah, we're used to that. We've done a lot of that, and I think, coming from Australia, like there's always festivals when it's really hot, the sun's beating down, and I feel like that, we're very comfortable with that, and it's a good time early on as well. It's good watching people, walking past and turning their heads and stuff. I love being in a festival like this, and just seeing people getting into the start of the day.
We did Singapore last year or the year before, and that was just humid as we were all just dripping with sweat. It was like playing in a sauna, so this was
It's
fine.
like 100 degrees and close to 100% humidity, so this is easy for us.
This is fine. We've trained at altitude, so we're all good.
Let's talk a little bit about Hope Downs, which came out last year, which you put out on Sub Pop. How does an Australian band get on a Seattle label?
That was through our manager Johan. Just sent out a few songs here and there, and then I don't know really. Really quite hard to answer that question.
Magic.
I think it's magic. Yeah. Eventually they heard our music and then they got in touch, and we were very immediately excited, and then it all just sort of fell into place. And so I guess the internet is probably how it works in the end. It wouldn't have happened without the internet, but
Yeah, the internet's good for Australian bands like us because we're far away from here, but it's easier for people to hear our music.
They're one of my favorite labels. I used to belong to their 45 club where you would get 45 sent to you and stuff.
Yeah, nice.
They are one of the best.
Yeah, and
no holes barred.
Such a great little label.
It must be really fun to be able to be on such a sort of historic, independent label like that has, some of my favorite bands of all times.
Yeah. It's that little label on the back.
Isn't it exciting?
It's such a cool little symbol, and it just means so much. And a lot of bands we listened to growing up had that Sub Pop symbol on the back, and it just it's quite surreal to be a part of that family. But it feels
like
good.
a family as well. They're like a genuinely great bunch of people, and we're kind of lucky enough to be friendly with them now.
Mark Arm works in the mailroom. It's great. Mark Arm from Mudhoney works in the mailroom. It's like everybody's all a part of it. Yeah, I love that. So I think it's great for you guys. I want to talk a little bit about In the Capital, Fran. So you were swimming when you came up with the idea. Are you a swimmer?
Yeah, of sorts. Yeah, I can swim. I have swum. Yeah, so there's this town, Port Arlington, which is about an hour and a half from Melbourne, which I go to all the time. And I had the chords to the song, but I didn't have a melody. And I did come up with the melody when I was swimming. And at that time, I was reading a book. It was, I don't know, it's not really important, but I just I had this idea of because it's sort of like a fishing town or just a coastal small little town. And you can see Melbourne. I just sort of had that idea of being elsewhere away from the city, and just that sort of distance, and then water and transients, and my grandma had just died. It was it was a whole series of things that sort of all together they sort of feel like connection despite distance, and I don't know. the lyrics just took a while to sort of try and fit what this mindset was that I had, and it took quite a while to write the lyrics actually, and then eventually I found all the jigsaw pieces and sort of put it together. I don't really exactly know what it's about, but I know that it now feels like what it initially felt like when I was swimming.
Do you swim for fun, exercise, or just to take your mind off things?
All of those.
Yeah. I'm a swimmer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I feel like you get a lot done when you're swimming. You can really leave your body. I mean, your body's moving, but like your mind is somewhere else completely. It's almost like being like completely baked, but you're not. You know what I mean? It's like you're high, but you're not high because you're swimming.
That's right. Yeah, exercise is cool.
Yeah.
I know it is. Yeah, it's really good for your head.
So you're far away from home, and I know you guys have been on the road and you've been to Boston before. Have you had a chance while you are doing this tour to actually go and see and explore some areas that you've never been to?
Yeah, definitely. Like last time I was in Boston, I really wanted to, I don't know, see the classic. I think we were playing, that I can't remember the name of the venue, the Sinclair, right near Harvard Square, and I just like wandered around Harvard for like an hour. And
you said it right, Harvard.
Harvard.
Yeah, very nice, Harvard.
The Boston accent is weirdly similar to the Australian accent. We don't say ours. I love the Boston accent. Yeah, I just kind of wandered around and, pretended I was like a freshman and like looked at all the nice buildings and like had some music going. It was really nice. I love to like just wander in a direction away from the venue and see a bit of the town. And I don't know, Boston seems like a really cool town. So, yeah.
Did you have a chance to go see like Fenway Park or anything else last time you were here?
I think we drove past
Did you eat clam chowder?
Yes.
Did you have a lobster roll, goddammit?
I want a lobster
eaten
roll,
clam
but
chowder.
we haven't had one.
Lobster roll. I don't think we got one, but I got the clam chowder. Yeah.
Where
That's
is a
like
good lobster roll spot?
There's
you would
lots
recommend?
of them. We'll talk after this interview, and we will totally
That's
take
important.
care of you. So now that you're done with the show today, what bands are you looking forward to seeing?
Well, Snail Mail, who just played, was up there for me. Travis Scott. I've never seen Travis Scott, but I'm interested.
Yeah, I feel like that'll be a big show. Like, I really don't know who else is playing today. We saw some big ones last night. Anderson .Paak, Tame Impala, obviously. And Skeggs, also from Australia, played just before us, so we missed them. But it's a really cool lineup. Yeah, I feel like Travis Scott will be one of those big ones.
That's also another thing about playing a festival, because if you have the time, you can go see a ton of bands.
Yeah, we're very lucky like
the night
that.
off the night before, it's really good. Yeah.
So where are you off to after this adventure?
Philly.
Philly.
Philly's next, and then Washington.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing a whole US tour.
Doing the whole loop, as they call it?
Yeah,
So we're going west this time. We've gone clockwise.
East
now
to
we're going
west.
anti-clockwise this time.
and then we'll end up in Europe and the UK.
At some point or another.
At some point,
and
yeah.
around
We'll get there
Christmas, you'll be
somehow,
home.
yeah.
And do we have a new record on the horizon?
Yeah, we're writing
Working
songs
on
at
it
the
slowly.
moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all sort of, we're just chipping away at it. I think we have a number of blocks of wood that we're chiseling into Adonises, and they're
Sure.
getting there.
So maybe you'll just like release some singles as you're kind of going, and then do you just do everything when you're at home, or do you do it on the road? Like, do you have sort of a method, or do you have to be swimming?
Swimming helps.
We get together, well, lately, for the last 6 months, we've been getting together twice a week and working on songs, and it's coming together. But we don't really have a specific method, I guess. It's just we find it hard to write on the road. I know that we know that. So we get home and we get stuck in. And
They have a pool here, by the way. Yeah, Harvard's got a real nice pool.
I bet
it's
Might
nice.
be a
Yeah.
sneaky in
Yeah.
friend. All right, just saying. Thank you very much for talking to indie617. Your show was great. We'll see you, I guess, next time you're in Boston. Rolling Blackouts Coastal Fever live backstage, Boston Calling, courtesy of Miller Lite.